Welcome to Travel Market Life, your companion for industry insights and professional business development. Travel Market Life. Join us by webcast, video or podcast.
Welcome back to Travel Market Life. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at the future of regional aviation. Joined by the co-founders of Lygg, Roope Kekalainen, the CEO, and Jari Viinikkala, the CFO, where we're going to be discussing the challenges of business travelers, alternative transport options post-pandemic, regional travel, and sustainability in aviation. Lygg provides door-to-door direct connection private regional air travel at commercial cost to customers. Started in Finland in 2020, Lygg was founded to transform the business flying experience. Through its app, customers save time and enjoy ease of travel while fostering a sustainable aviation ecosystem. It's raised 1.8 million euros in funding, including grants and R&D support from the Finnish government, and is on a mission to raise more.
Travel Market Life.
Hi, Roope and Jari. Thank you ever so much for joining me. There's been a huge amount of change in the industry over the last couple of years, and it looks like you've really addressed some of these challenges as we entered the main midst of the pandemic in 2020. I'd love to hear more about sort of how you're perceiving some of the key challenges for business travelers and particularly businesses from your perspective.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan, for having us. And I think there are several challenges, but I think that the main challenge was to get from A to B without hassle that inspired us to start Lygg, and really to ease the regional travel for businesses and their employees. Now, if we look a little bit backwards, the customer's experience standpoint, the quality of regional air travel has been severely dented these past 20 years, being the worst just before pandemic, with the surge of passenger traffic and the hubs of airports being really congested. So I could actually say that the short-haul flights that are a staple of business travel have become longer and longer, with day trips becoming expeditions. So we thought that there is definitely a business opportunity to address these pain points. And with our new flight-embedded door-to-door service solution, we are really thinking that we are hitting these points.
I mean, it's almost like you predicted what was going to happen this year with all the airport chaos that we've had to deal with. The fact that we've had to be at an airport nearly 3 hours before a regional flight is due to be taken off. On top of that, the fact that we've had cancellations of thousands of flights across Europe from a lot of the main hubs. As you say, the main hubs being massively congested at the same time. And Jari, you really noticed that there is greater accessibility now from smaller regional hubs.
Absolutely. I think this is a part of a bigger theme of individuals, corporates, particularly by all users, as a matter of fact, looking for alternative options for the congested hubs. I think you pretty much nailed it when you were saying about the traffic. And yes, some of those are maybe intermittent due to the fact that we are sort of like coming back from the pandemic. But nevertheless, I think it's inevitable that travel is going to be a key of any corporate going forward. But now I think particularly with a focus on, if ever hasn't been the case, but particularly now about saving costs, time, and I think in the last few decades, rightfully so, reducing the carbon footprint.
I mean, it's really interesting that, you know, when it comes to transport, there's been a lot more focus on the alternative options outside of the standard airlines that are out there. And there's been a lot more talk about the impact and influence of rail travel, as well as the role of more eco-friendly options here. And this is something that you've particularly been paying much closer attention to, about the role of these the more private regional air travel. When you look at the value that it actually offers the travel industry and the options that it provides for TMCs, how does that enable a better experience for corporations and TMCs to be able to provide a better offer?
No, absolutely, and I think goes without saying that there are great solutions which exist, which do require, however, quite a bit of infrastructure. Not every city, not every village, particularly, nor every corporate can be served by their own a fast track train service, as a good example. What that means is that there is nevertheless quite a bit of a idle existing infrastructure. As Roope was saying earlier, and Ryan, as you are aware, the regional airport and airport airliners services, they've almost been made redundant due to the extra hassle involved and due to the additional carbon footprint what they come with. And we are changing that. So we are all about creating direct connections, using the infrastructure that is already there, whilst actually minimizing the carbon footprint of the travelers at the relatively good price point compared to the alternatives, particularly when we incorporate the time gained by using the direct door-to-door solutions what we have with a flight embedded into the service.
I mean, this time gained is really important for businesses, particularly at this moment in time that we're having to adapt to the changes post-pandemic, but also the increased costs around inflation and the impending recession that's due to hit us worldwide. And so I guess, businesses need to be not just aware of their costs, but more importantly, the investment, the return that they're getting from this. There's been a lot of talk about this work-life balance over the last couple of years. We've already seen that a lot of corporates are reducing significantly when and where they travel, how frequently travel, how many days they're traveling for. And obviously you made reference to the fact that currently traveling through chartered scheduled flights certainly adds significant time to that travel. So what we're seeing and what you're suggesting through private regional travel is that the accessibility to be able to go from home onto a flight and arrive at your destination is a lot faster. Could you explain a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, so what Lygg is offering is a regional air travel platform that offers the flight embedded door-to-door solutions. Now, we leverage underused, more efficient peripheral small airports and offer the direct connections. Now, it's all about the transitions. They make the service so fast. So using smaller airports, driving there directly with the taxis, the curb to lift off time, which means the time from your taxi door when the aircraft is airborne, is under 15 minutes. So there, the real saving of the time is done. And actually, even more important is that the first time ever companies have a say on what they really need and where they need to go in what schedule, which actually really saves time. Now the companies can really move on the schedule that looks like their schedule, and it means a lot of time saving because all the meetings are then set as they should be.
And I think Ryan, if I may add into that, which is I think extremely important, is that actually even given the new tools that has really come to prominence over the last few years due to the pandemic, hybrid working, remote working, and all related great innovations that comes with it. Nevertheless, the corporate travel and travel in general is already on a par almost to levels of the pre-pandemic. And interestingly, is actually expected to total about 2 trillion globally by 2028, which is an increase of about 3 times of what it was in the last few years. So it's a booming market regardless of the great innovations and the ways we are presently doing our jobs.
I mean, you've also approached Lygg as not just a transport company or an airline business, but it also underpinning it with technology, and providing a platform. Could you tell me a bit more about how that platform really taps into the A to B scheduling of flights, and how businesses can work with that platform and make the most of their travel arrangements?
Yeah, sure. So what we do in the platform is we have two marketplaces. So we have the clients that have the need, and we listen to that need. And on the other side, we have the assets. Now we choose the asset according to the client's demand, the voice of our clients, not particularly one individual client, but a group of clients that have the same destination needs. And we combine these two with new technology and give an interface of one app. It's just a single click, address, and the final destination address, and tap book, and everything is booked. You don't have to stress about it.
I mean, there's a lot. It sounds like, it's almost sort of the child of the approach that Uber have taken around their travel, really being able to people to put their A to B, be able to match them with the availability that's there. But then also this whole idea of ride sharing, so to speak. And so that obviously makes it much more cost effective, not just for Lygg, but also for the companies and your clients.
You're absolutely right, Ryan. It also means that it's a positive impact for the what we care, which is our globe. And particularly, I think you are absolutely right when you're saying that it is akin to some of those other solutions. Well, obviously, because we are moving people from A to B. What we have, however, done is taken the platform evolution from a micro commute or the urban commute to regional, and embedded with the flights, and doing it all with a consideration into our footprint to the globe.
No, and Ryan, the sweet spot is under 1,500 kilometers, so that is basically the whole central of Europe that we can serve already today.
And as you say, you don't need to be going to the big hubs. You can be going to much smaller hubs, much more locality, particularly for those businesses that are really not based anywhere near some of the major metropolitan places. So it allows that flexibility and that speed of journey. And one of the key factors that you keep alluding to is this environmental and sustainability as well. Can you talk to me more about that, and sort of where are we currently in the journey of eco-friendly, environmentally friendly air travel, and what's the vision there for Lygg?
Yeah, that's a good question, Brian. The road is long, but we are on a good way. So today already the marketplace, the platform model enables us to optimize the aircraft usage, as Jari-Jussi said, and the flight itineraries, and consequently reduce carbon footprint by using the existing infra and direct connections. So smaller infra needs and less time flying because of the direct connections. Now in 5 years, we will have a better understanding of the total costs and capabilities of the surrounding emission-free technologies. And this will allow us to make the adoption, to have a strategy and roadmap to quickly and effectively meet the targeted emission-free goals that we have.
At the moment, there is no current electricity run air fleet, but this is likely to be coming up over the next decade or so, and is due to start with smaller aircraft, I believe first. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. So the smaller aircrafts cannot be utilized with airlines today because of the low seat capacity it has. But in our model, we operate with 8-seater aircraft, which is just a sweet spot. So we want to be the first one in the world to really adapt the new technologies into commercial travel, regional travel.
I mean, how have you been able to get the support and backing in such a short period of time? You've already raised funding. You're currently on that mission to build that awareness and raise further funding. It sounds like there's a good appetite for exploring this mode of transport.
Yeah, I think I can start, and Jari, you can go ahead. But we're really changing the industry. We are making our efforts to change the world, a small piece, but still we are changing things. And that is something that has really resonated to the investors of our company.
There's also the user experience. So I was a heavy traveler myself in my past, traveling the long haul, the intercontinent, but also doing, the intraday trips quite a bit, to the extent that it was almost too much traveling. But I never experienced what it actually is when we do really use the smaller airports and the business terminals, and when the curb to lift off time is minutes, which normally is the time that you are just about arriving to the passport, security, checkouts, etc. And you have another hour at the lounge before you actually are on boarding the plane, which is then going to be on a tarmac to get the right to take off. By that time, you're already halfway to your destination with our service. So there's huge, which kind of like is a personally easily understandable also from the user experience perspective, which kind of makes our service intriguing, but also quite easy to explain that's what travel should actually be all about, what we are trying to do.
And I say, whilst you were established in 2020, you've already gone through a number of tests. You've already been working with a few client contracts, and you've got a pipeline ahead of you, I understand.
Yeah, exactly. And this situation, as you said in the start of this podcast, we definitely didn't see the market changing so rapidly to a position that we are now, that is really supporting our mission in the market.
That's absolutely fantastic. Well, Roope, Jari, thank you ever so much. And if anybody wants more information on Lygg, you can visit the website, which is lygg.com. And I guess they can get in contact with you there, or they can reach out to you on LinkedIn.
Sure.
Absolutely. Fantastic, Ryan. Thank you for having us.
Thank you indeed
Ryan,
for joining me both. Thank you. Well, that was Roope Kekalainen and Jari Viinikkala from Lygg, that provide door-to-door direct connection private regional air travel at commercial costs. For more information, please check out the description. And for more podcasts, please go to travelmarket.life to check out the recent episodes where we've been looking at new solutions in the travel industry. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Ryan Haynes. Ciao for now.
For more, go to Travel Market Life. The music sensation by Zach Nelson is reproduced under license from Storyblocks. Travel Market Life is a Haynes Marcoms digital marketing agency production, serving the travel and technology industries.